Welcome to the Jeremy Mullins podcast, where we take a deep dive into different educational topics to help you optimize your life. I am Jeremy, your host, a registered dietitian and strength coach for over 20 years. Started the podcast because I wanted the platform to educate other people. And here I am in season 2. So welcome to the show. Today I have Mr. Montae Kaufman on here with me. How are you?
I'm doing well. We got seasons now.
Yes. So I don't know. There's a few from last year that are going to be on. That'll be season 2. But yeah, I've got to change up my. I'm going to change up my intro a little bit. And I don't know if I want to film one where it's the same intro every time, or just kind of like what I did right there, just kind of the same thing about educating people and a little bit of an intro. So I don't know yet.
Just go with the flow. It'll come
Yeah.
to you.
Listen, it's exciting, but yeah, you can break it into seasons. So we thought, for last year we did 100 episodes, and kind of took a break. There's a few in the pipeline that we've done that'll come out, and this is actually the first one this year that I've sat down and done. So I'm super excited about it. Got a few extra new microphone, new camera. I'm still ugly though. Like that's something I'm noticing.
Yeah, it didn't fix you.
No, I thought it was going to fix me. So I still got my accent. I still ugly, so I don't know, but here we are rocking and rolling.
Love it.
No, but speaking of change, today we are going to discuss the changes within the Phorm app and the My Transformation Challenge, as there has been, I don't want to say an overhaul of how we do the challenges, but some significant changes that I know a lot of people, are going to have questions on. I think it'd be great if we cover it, go into detail how we think it's actually better for us as coaches and better for the individuals overall. And then, kind of the winning categories. That's really what I want to cover today, because I've gotten a lot of questions on social media, but also inside the app, about it.
Yeah, I'm getting questions on both platforms as well.
Yeah. So first I want, if you're a new listener, to understand a lot of the stuff that I do is kind of, tied together. So you'll get to hear Montae a lot as a guest here on the podcast. Montae is actually a previous client of mine inside of the Phorm app, has had great success, in his own personal journey, and now is having great success in helping other people change their life. And inside the app, we work together on what is termed Team Alpha. So we are what we call like a mega team within Phorm. It allows me to still educate, younger coaches. So I have to admit, Montae is, quite a bit younger than I am, quite a bit taller than me. I think I still got a little bit of strength on you in certain lifts.
Pretty sure you got me in everything.
Yeah,
I'm just big.
we just gotta get you squatting. Those big legs definitely out squat me. But we are together in what we term Team Alpha, and that is how you work with us as coaches. So we get a lot of inquiries coming in to the podcast, like, "Hey, I want to work with you, Jeremy." I and Montae itself, we do 100% of our wellness coaching inside the Phorm app. Inside the app, you have the ability to track your nutrition. We can see that nutrition, so we can see your macros. We can know what you're consuming to hit those macros. There are 30-ish workout programs.
Give or take, yeah. And I mean, there's more coming in, so it's slowly growing.
Yeah, so plenty of different workout options that you can choose from, from traditional strength training to powerlifting to more of your cross training to at-home workouts with minimal equipment. So if you just got a set of bands, kettlebell, you can follow a routine with that. So, your workouts are in there. You have the ability to message, us inside of the app if you're on the premium option, and you do not have the ability to message us if you are in the standard option. So that has another change that was made this year inside of the app. Is you can go and do the standard option, which is all the tools of the app. So just tracking macros, the ability to do the workouts, the ability to enter the challenges. You just would not have the ability to work with an advisor, or in this case, myself or Montae. And that is $9.99 a month or $54 if you pay for the year, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then the premium version allows access to the coach. And in once again, this case, talking me and Montae, because we want you to work with us. And that is only $160 for the year. So we don't charge for our coaching. Phorm pays our salaries. Phorm pays us. We coach within the app. And all you have to do is have the app to have access to us. So it's $160 for the year. I think it's $159.99, but I like to round up. or if you go month to month, it is $30 a month if you want to do the month to month option. So that was the first big change that was made, was the standard option and the premium option of the app. Did I miss anything?
Nope, that's it.
Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good, right?
As far as cost of the app, yeah, we're rolling.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Got it. Yeah. I always get a little bit confused on, sometimes, and it does vary. I think like if you live in Canada or even Mexico, I don't know if there's any other states that change pricing, but I have noticed that like depending on where people are at, that pricing can be slightly different.
Right. I noticed the Canadian one.
Yeah, so that's something to be aware of if depending on where you're living at. If you go to, iTunes or Google Play and it's different, from that standpoint. Okay. At this time, I just want to say it so it's out there. So if someone's downloading the app, to add me as your coach, you would add me via the email, jeremy@firstphorm.com. Make sure you hit enter after entering that into the advisor part. So jeremy@firstphorm.com. For some reason, my social media is not able to view or be searched. So ignore if it says search your social media handle, just put my email in there. That will pull you up. And Montae, what is your contact information so people can add you inside of the app?
It's going to be M Kaufman, Kaufman @firstphorm.com. Or for me, you can add me by my social media, which would be fitbam_JR.
Yeah, I don't know why my social media don't come up. Who knows?
Just the older generation, maybe.
Yeah, they're like, sir, we don't have that social media platform. What, you don't have rocks and scribes? That's okay. We're good. All right. So moving into the other changes within the app is there are now, instead of 8-week challenges, there used to be 4 challenges a year. There'd be the New Year challenge, the spring challenge, summer challenge, and fall challenge, respectively. And they would be 8-week challenges, technically 9 weeks, because there was always a week of open enrollment. So we would announce that the challenge was dropping and it would be starting, let's just use today, January 7th, right? So the challenge may drop on January 1st and have 7 days of open enrollment. And then the official start day would be the 7th and it would go 8 weeks. Okay. And this was great. But what we were learning with that is a lot of times people, find out about the app, find out about, a friend's progress or a coworker's progress sometime else during the year, and not necessarily around these 4 weeks a year that we were doing open enrollment. And we would find that people just wouldn't start their own journey because we weren't having a challenge. And that's not what we wanted at the end of the day. At the end of the day, we want people to download the app, start their journey to getting healthier and getting better. And we made the adjustment to move to more of a 4 quarters of the year where we would look at results during that quarter for all prizes. And now we have more of what we call a rolling window. So you want to explain, especially Montae, the dates that are inside of this first quarter for us, as far as what that rolling window looks like, how long people have to take that first photo to be in this first quarter, as far as finishing an 8-week period.
Yeah, absolutely. So for the first quarter, the challenges are still going to be an 8-week span. So you're going to want to start that challenge and give yourself 56 days, that 8-week span, to finish your challenge. And for the first quarter, I want to say the date is February 5th. So someone would have to start their journey by February 5th. That way they could be entered into the challenge, because that's going to give them that time frame to be able to finish that 8 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's February 5th is what I had, right?
Yeah.
So, and now if someone wants to start February 7th, what would happen there is on February 7th, you would start your 8 weeks. It is just those 8 weeks results would then be compared into quarter 2 of the year, as far as prize money and gifts and all the stuff, the winnings goes into. Okay.
Right.
And the reason, Montae, I think I really liked it when I heard that we were changing to this is anybody can start at any time, because we don't, yes, there's challenges. We try to win challenges because we like to produce good results in people, but also we take it on an individual basis. So now it doesn't matter when someone starts with us, we're going to take that person, we're going to educate them the basics and work forward. Right. So I think that is what I'm most excited about, is someone can start at any time, and they have the ability to run that 8 weeks that fit their life, their phases of life, their seasons of life that work best for them. But the other thing that I also want to mention that I enjoy is the lifestyle component carries a higher prize winning or prize money. Right. And the lifestyle really doesn't change anything, because the lifestyle component of the challenge is any transformation over 8 weeks. So 9 weeks and above. And the beautiful thing about this, and what I'm telling people is, hey, that gives us, like, if people are starting now, we've got 3 months to get you to that finished product if you're in the lifestyle division. Right. Or we've got 6 months to the end of the second quarter. So what I'm trying to do with all my individuals there is to, quote, peak or be that finished product at the end of the quarter within that challenge. And the rule is that someone just has to complete an 8-week period during a quarter challenge to be eligible for the lifestyle. But I'm really trying to have my individuals, and I know you're doing this too, to kind of to think of the last 8 weeks of a quarter as being their busiest 8 weeks, or that finished product from that standpoint.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, I like this aspect too, because you think about, I just think about the many people that I've worked with who, they wanted to, maybe we finished a challenge and they wanted to wait till the next challenge to start back again.
Yeah.
And you talk all the time, challenges are just a period of time to aggressively chase goals. We shouldn't have to wait to till a challenge. But me personally, just thinking back, like, emotionally, with challenges and how they help change my life, I know challenges can be very motivating. So somebody finishing that challenge, they don't technically have to wait until the next challenge starts. They can start that challenge right again and just start that next 8 weeks, and goes to the lifestyle side of things. We're not always waiting until the next challenge to get started. And then the other side of that is going to be, you're not forcing somebody to start at a certain time.
Yeah.
You mentioned seasons of life, like in that open enrollment originally, someone might not have been in that position where they were ready to really start their journey, but life things happen. Thinking about me losing my dad, like, that actually happened around the start of a challenge and it helped me, but that could happen to somebody else outside of that challenge window. They're ready to get their challenge started, and they can start right there. So I love that it's not like, I'm not gonna say forcing someone to start, but they can start when they're ready to start. Because at the end of the day, people are going to change when they're ready, not when I tell them to, not when you tell them to. It's when they're ready. So I just love that they can start whenever they are ready.
100%. Yeah. Someone asked me that, one time. I was like, hey, how do you get people to change? And I'm like, you don't. They have to be ready. Right? We can educate, and we educate the same stuff, and I'm not saying that we don't try to improve on our education. We don't try to find analogies to make things different and to get, these complex, things across to people in simpler terms. It's not that, but it's the truth is, people are not going to change until they're ready to change. And I think this is great, because when someone takes a day one photo, they're committing to, okay, I'm good. I'm ready for 8 weeks. And as you mentioned, they're not necessarily, I hate to use the term forced,
Right.
but, like, to a degree, it is a forced start if, hey, you got to have your photos in by this challenge. And we used to see that, right? Like, we would see this massive upload in numbers of progress photos right before the challenge started. And the reality is, a lot of these individuals I would message, and they would never message me back, right? Because they just got it in there because that was the deadline. They weren't ready to change, and they end up not doing anything, right? So, to a degree, I think that's going to be better, where we're not going to see this, abrupt upload of photos just because it has an end date to it. We're going to have people kind of steadily come in over the course of each week. So I'm super excited about that. And, I'm going to put it out there, and we'll do a follow up to it. I think I'll have just as many people enter the challenge, quarter one challenge, as I did last year's New Year challenge, if that makes sense. So by the time everything's said and done, come February 5th, I think my numbers will be the same as far as total volume of people who enter the challenge as it was last year. But I think it's going to be spread across, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
going to be
because I'm
everybody just January 1st.
correct, because I'm about 50% right now. So I kind of looked at the numbers last night. I'm about 50%, to where I would be at the beginning of a challenge. And I think over the the course of this week into next week, and by the end of that, February 5th date, because I think we'll still have a little bit of that, right? Because, I'll post about it, you'll post about it, first one will post about it on their social media, like, hey, to be in this first quarter challenge, you got to have photos by the February 5th. So I think we will still see a little bit of that uptick on February 5th, like we did at the old numbers, but I don't think it'll be as big. And I think it might be people that, once again, are ready to make a change. They were just kind of they were just trying to maybe get through January because it wasn't the best season of life for them and what was going on.
Yeah, agree.
Anything else you want to add to that? You feel like we covered that pretty good?
Yeah. As far as the 8 week goes, yeah.
The other component or change to it, and I like this, is there are now male and female winning categories. So there will be a best overall male transformation for lifestyle, best overall male transformation for the 8 week, and then the same thing on the female side. So you'll have a winner for the female lifestyle, and you'll have a winner of the female 8 week in each quarter of the year. So there's a male and female division, and there's 25K to our lifestyle winners and 15K to the 8 week winners. So I'm super excited. And Team Alpha last year, we had 3 total. Was it 3 total last year?
And
My numbers run together. Winners. So we had Firth on a team aspect last year,
yeah,
and Gavin
and Marcus.
and Marcus. We had 3 last year, right?
Yeah.
I know my years run together. I guess that's a good thing when we can't remember what year people won. But I think we had 3 winners last year.
When you start getting so many winners, it's like, you get so many
Hey,
Super Bowls.
I mean, we're not bragging. We're just stating facts.
Hey, I
It's
do
just
want to
like
go back
it's
on
just
the
like
eight
our
week.
court.
So on the 8 week, it's 12,500 to the 8 weeks.
Is it okay? I said
Yeah,
15,
not
right?
15,000.
I
Yeah,
apologize. I got that wrong. It is $12,500 and
you're,
25K to the lifestyle,
you're
which
gonna
I
have to
think
pay
is
that out of your
awesome.
pocket.
I love that. I love the fact that and it doesn't take anything away from the 8 week. 8 week is still tough, but I love that the lifestyle is a little bit more prize money, because those are some individuals that we see some of these bigger changes in from that aspect. But once again, the male and female division, and I had the conversation with someone, hey, that takes away about 50% of your competition to a degree, right? Like, I don't know if our numbers are exactly 50-50 when it comes to male and female, but like you can look at it as that way, right? Half the competition's gone because we got a gender division in there now, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I was excited about that part.
But those are the changes. We hope to have in Team Alpha, 3 to 4 more winners. We try to have one every single challenge. That is our goal, is to produce winners within the team. And it's a underlying goal of helping changing as many people's lives as we possibly can. Right. And we understand that. We've talked about this earlier. We talked about it on the podcast. There are seasons of life. Right. So when someone comes to me and I see that this 8 weeks, or I see that this quarter, that winning is just not something that's important to them, or it's causing further quote complications for them, then we don't discuss it. It's not the end all for us. Right. We get them changing behaviors, we get them focused on habits, we get them making them a healthier individual. But there are some people that we come in, and if you're going to put effort into it and there's money and prizes to be won, then let's go for it. I think that is human nature, and we should have that drive, to be successful. But that's not our end goal. Our end goal is that people live a longer, healthier life without disease. That's always going to be my end goal when I work with people. But I'm totally fine having short-term goals, whether short-term goals, be win a challenge, or short-term goals be bench 300 pounds. Doesn't matter to me. We're going to strive to achieve those goals.
100%.
So
Winning at life.
winning at life. Love it, man. Thanks for being on here today, talking about the changes. You're going to rock and roll. And, for the listeners, man, thank you guys for being part of this journey. I want to bring you guys more education. I want to bring more guests. I want to tell more stories, all in all, with that ultimate goal of, once again, having you live the life that you want to. And what I mean by that, from a physical and health standpoint, building that buffer so that when we get later in life, you're living the life you want to, and you're not, getting to those golden years and not physically be able to do the things you want to do. That's my ultimate goal with everybody we work with. So appreciate you, Montae. Appreciate you, listeners. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Jeremy.